Okay, so Nomadland has been this year's Best Picture frontrunner for what feels like several years. And it's not hard to see why. I mean, look at its awards section on Wikipedia. It's just a sea of green. Critics are going nuts for this thing. Now that it's available outside of private screenings, the big question everyone is asking is, does it live up to the hype? The short answer is yes. The long answer is maybe, but probably yes. Nomadland is technically not a documentary, but it's really close to one. The performances are extremely naturalistic, primarily because most of the ensemble are real nomads, not actors. Picture a documentary roaming through the American Southwest, interviewing the inhabitants of campsites and parking lots. Except instead of talking to the camera or an interviewer, they talk to Fern, played by Frances McDormand. That's essentially what Nomadland is. If that sounds boring to you, well, it might be, but I think it's still worth giving a shot. I see a lot of people claiming this film has no plot, which is just a disservice to the tightrope that writer, director, editor Chloe Zhao is walking. It's a relatively simple narrative, yes, but the film moves at such a brisk pace that you're never left wondering where it's going. You don't have the time. Scenes begin right in the middle of things, and as soon as you think you know where a moment is going, it packs up and drives off to a new location and a new feeling. Zhao pushes us so deep into Fern and her world that she turns tiny moments of Fern sharing a lighter, or David Strathairn's character Dave dropping plates, into massive emotional payoffs. And it's a credit to Zhao's screenplay that these moments feel neither telegraphed or random, and in between are gorgeous landscape shots that wouldn't seem out of place in a nature documentary. And it's because of how small and personal this film feels that I can't see it winning Best Picture. Don't get me wrong, it is the frontrunner right now, and it might just ride its hype into Oscar success and continue the Academy's recent trend of unconventional Best Picture winners. But, I'm picturing a certain type of voter here. Every year we get a handful of anonymous Oscar voters who explain their choices, and they're always pretty weird. And I just know that this year we're gonna get some people saying, "This movie is so overrated, nothing happens in it. I love Frances McDormand, but I don't want to see her poop in a bucket." Also, this is a Searchlight film, meaning Disney is paying for the Oscar campaign. It's possible that they push it to shore up Chloe Zhao's status before her Marvel movie comes out, but Disney has never really tried to win Best Picture. Netflix wants it way more, and they have 4 contenders. Nomadland also didn't get nominated for SAG's Ensemble Award. That's not always a death sentence, but it shows that Hollywood actors didn't care for Nomadland's use of actual nomads to fill out its cast. Actors make up the largest portion of Oscar voters, so it really helps to have them on your side. Frances McDormand, on the other hand, did get a SAG nomination, and is a strong contender for the Oscar. The Academy really adores her, so much so that she already has 2 wins. Only 6 actors have 3 or more wins, and voters may not be ready to give McDormand that distinction, especially since she got her 2nd win only a few years ago. She also faces serious competition from Carey Mulligan and Viola Davis. But maybe the fact that she actually lived in a van for 4 months during shooting will be enough to put Frances in the record books. While Nomadland has been a relatively solid frontrunner for Best Picture, Chloe Zhao has been a goddamn juggernaut and can't stop winning precursors. While Best Picture and Best Director tend to go to the same film, the majority of awards pundits agree that even if Nomadland loses Best Picture, Chloe Zhao could still take Best Director. She's also going to be a contender for Best Film Editing and Best Adapted Screenplay, although the writer's branch may be offended by the amount of improvisation in the film. The film is full of shots of nature juxtaposed with cramped views of Frances McDormand in her van, so it's going to win favor with the cinematography branch. But they're also likely going to be won over by Mank's Citizen Kane references, so I don't know if it's going to win this one. And I don't really see it getting into any other categories. If they really, really love the film, they'll put David Strathairn in for supporting actor, but that's pretty unlikely. Ultimately, I think Nomadland's well-deserved hype is working against it. The members of the Academy that want to award accessible films are gonna trash it, and the rest may be comfortable avoiding it because they know it's probably gonna win Best Director regardless. It could even become the first film since 1967's The Graduate to win Best Director and nothing else. Regardless, it's a fantastic film that's worth a watch. It just might not be your cup of tea.